Hello everyone, your voice here and welcome to our channel Sansevieria 101. So for this episode, we're going to feature another trifasciata cultivar, and this is supposed to be one of the first cultivars that I will be featuring, but I had some problems with regards to picking out which one I'm going to present. The name of this cultivar, by the way, is Jade Dwarf Marginated, and you can find reference of this trifasciata cultivar from the Sansevieria trifasciata varieties 1986, page 69 by Juan Chainayan, and also you can get information about it from the International Sansevieria Society Journal. It's issue number 30, page 9. So Jade Dwarf Marginated originated from another trifasciata cultivar which I have already featured on the channel, and the name of that cultivar was it arose from trifasciata Hahnii marginated. So what you can do is search for the tab on the channel itself, then type Hahnii marginated on it, so you can go back to the content or the episode where I have featured the origin of this cultivar, which I am presenting to you right now. In the market, this is very common, up to date. Almost all the people that I know had this plant. I'm saying past tense because like most short leaf trifasciata honey, this Jade Dwarf Marginated are also prone from various attacks coming from mites, aphids, and resulting to the core of the plant rotting. So in comparison to the bigger cultivars of trifasciata, the short leaf trifasciatas have very soft cores. Therefore, when mites infect them, they do a lot of damage on the core, and when you try to water your plants, that's where they will succumb to rotting because they have open wounds on the base of the leaf or the core area of the plant. So it is also one of the reasons why I had problems featuring the short leaf trifasciata, but fortunately I'm able to source out presentable specimen for Jade Dwarf Marginated. So in fact, one of the colleagues from Indonesia was able to grow Jade Dwarf Marginated in stacking form, and they can grow to very tall sizes, the size of actual Christmas trees that you can see. So there is a time that someone was able to grow Jade Dwarf Marginated to that size. I for myself was not able to do or grow it by that size. It's very hard. It's a meticulous task, even a Herculean task for people to maintain Jade Dwarf Marginated, make them stacking, and let them grow as tall as your Christmas tree. So perhaps I can include an overlay to show you what I meant. I'll have to put the credits. I remember asking permission from this colleague. He is bro Erwin Carnadi. He has a different name in Facebook right now, which I cannot recall or remember. But brother Erwin was able to grow Hahnii Jade Dwarf Marginated into sizes as tall as small Christmas trees. So I even asked him if they are still growing as of the moment, but he told me that all of them died out. The rots first came from the bottom part of the leaf, then suddenly all the topmost portion was not able to survive. So that was what we have talked about. I don't know if Brother Irwin remembers it, but I have asked him the status of those Jade Dwarf Marginated that grew stacking and enormous form. So going back, the origin of Jade Dwarf Marginated, it was found or first mutated because if we're talking about trifasciatas, they can mutate all around the world now. So there are times where from Indonesia they would mutate something very similar to what we mutate here in the Philippines, and perhaps I will be writing about it in the future. But for now, the first Jade Dwarf Marginated, which originated from Hahnii Marginated, came from Singer's Growing Things nursery, and that was in Northridge, California. So that is the first origin of Jade Dwarf Marginated. I'm not able to read about who exactly introduced them, but the name of the nursery was stated as to where it first originated from. So that's it for a brief overview of the origin of Jade Dwarf Marginated. Next, what we'll do is we will try to point out the characteristics of the said short-leaf trifasciata. So the mutation of Jade Dwarf Marginated actually came from another short-leaf trifasciata, which is Hahnii Marginated. Mostly Hahnii are short-leaf trifasciata. Now, from the origin plant, Hahnii Marginated is a banded type of trifasciata. So instead of having the dark green color, which you see right now with Jade Dwarf Marginated, the origin plant Hahnii Marginated has bandings on it. Like if you've seen the Sansevieria trifasciata Laurenti, that is the pattern of Hahnii Marginated. So both plants though are marginated. You still have the yellow margins at the side. The difference from the origin is that instead of having a banded pattern of pale green and dark green color on the center part of the leaf, it lost all the pale green bandings, and what you see is just dark green color of the plant. I know you folks are already familiar with it because, like I said, this plant is already very common in the trade or the plant market. Every now and then you'll see Jade Dwarf Marginated for sale. What I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to record the progress of how I would grow the short leaf trifasciata. I have been trying to make them healthy, but at the best of my abilities, there are really times wherein we are having bad weather and they would have brown spots all over them. So fortunately for this specimen, I'm not able to encounter it. Sometimes it's where you place your plant. If it has the microenvironment that it needs, it will stay healthy. But if it really doesn't like what or where you put them, I'm not able to really enunciate on what are those things, but I just know the spots here from the garden which would grow Trifasciata Hahnii and keep them healthy. So there are times that I would just leave them out of the rain and they would still stay healthy as long as they're in the position where they like it. I can't really explain why, but that's one of the tips that I can give you for growing Sansevieria trifasciata short leaf. If you know that your plant is having brown spots, that is something of a sign that it doesn't like where you put them. So find a location, try to experiment on putting them on different locations. If you can propagate them, try to put one Jade Dwarf Marginated on the front of your lawn, another on the back of your lawn, something like that, and you observe which one would stay healthy. That's one way to figure out how to grow this short leaf. But for places that have very low temperatures, I'm sorry to say that I'm not able to give you some advice regarding that because I have not experimented on low temperature locations. Uh, in the event though that you have a greenhouse, that's a different story because you can control the environment. So you would it's wise to observe the temperature that they're in, the watering amount of watering that they can take, because if they receive too much water that and moisture, sometimes the moisture would result to going to somewhere else, like for example grow brown spots here. As you notice, brown spots are moist. It's like they're bubbly, and if you try to burst them, there's water in it, so those in my opinion are excess water that you subject the plants with. So that is perhaps one of the tips that I can also give you. Some of the folks would practice the after 3 days of or 1 week watering twice only, but that is dependent on which part of the world you are, because on uh, hotter places like from where I am, I have the leeway to keep on watering them. That's why they grow faster from here. But if you're in a cooler place or lower temperatures, there's a chance that you will get fungus when you overwater them. So perhaps watch out for the water content, the moisture, the humidity. Those are what I said about the microenvironment that they are sensitive with. So you have to observe that. So going back, I think I have given you enough tips and enough of the uh, origin of the plant or information about where it came from. Next would be we'll try to figure out the leaf length, and I'll just use this one and measure the longest one that I can measure. It's about 5 inch, and like I always say, the short leaf would not go beyond 6 inches. If it goes beyond 6 inches, then it would be classified as part of the medium-sized leaf trifasciatas or the compact group. I would rather say medium-sized leaf because that's a more accurate way to describe it, and I would rather use accurate words to describe the plants that I am featuring for you. So again, the measure of the length is length of the width is 6 or sorry, that was 4.5, 4.6. I would say 4 to 5.5 inches for the length of the leaf. I can try to measure other ones. Other ones would end up at 4 inch. One that I measured is at 5.1, 5.2. That is the average leaf of Sansevieria trifasciata Jade Dwarf Marginated. So next would be the leaf width. Leaf width is at 1.5 of an inch. So that's one, and I think that is the one of the narrower leaf, but this one would end up 2 inches as width. So I would say that the leaf width of Jade Dwarf Marginated would be, let me check if I can. I would say they can be 2 to 2.5 inches leaf width. So that is my measure of the leaf width, leaf length of Jade Dwarf Marginated. Leaf tips, typical trifasciata, you see that it's subulate tip, whether it's juvenile or the leaf it has matured. When some of the leaf matures, I'll focus this one that sometimes if you touch them they are very brittle, so they will break as such. In fact, some of the leaves of this specimen has indeed broke or was broken because of my own handling. So like such, upon maturity, they will retain the subilate tips. They will just lose it if you accidentally apply pressure on them. And that's for the leaf tips. For the pattern of the leaves, I have already discussed it, that the base coloration of the leaf, or the inside part, is solid dark green, and it has yellow marginations. On the marginations, you will see that remnants of the bandings, because this should be in normal trifasciatas. The whitish part are the pale green color, and then the one that's yellow or the dark green color of the trifasciata, normal trifasciata bandings. But in this case, they have become marginated, and you will see there are remnants of white and yellow on the margins itself. That's in-depth observation of Jade Dwarf Marginated, because other experts will just stay on saying that the margins on Jade Dwarf Marginated are just yellow. So in fact, if you make a closer look, there are it's kind of banding. It's a banded type margination, and you have the white part and the yellow part. So when they grow older, you would still see remnants of it. Like I'm pointing out, there is a whitish part, there is a yellow part on them. So that's in-depth observation of the pattern of Jade Dwarf Marginated. So folks, I think this is it for this content. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you like what I have presented, please like and subscribe to the channel. It is well appreciated. Thank you for watching, and you have a great day.